And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
Giant Sports Talk Live, man. I've been going since 7 o'clock, dude.
I bet you haven't shut up since.
I have not shut up once. I've been going, boy. Today was love. I've been hitting everywhere, and oh man, it's been fun.
You cheating on me?
No, never, dude, never. Just having fun, dude. Talking baseball, man.
Hey, I'm getting geared up already here. I've had a busy. You have no idea. I won't even get into it with the chat. How much work I've had to do today, man. I'm doing like a week's worth in one day in 24 hours. However, I'm getting ready for opening day on Giant Sports Talk Live. I've already started the arrangements. We're going to be doing the show from in front of the bowling alley across the street on the corner of Oracle Park. You'll have, hey, sponsors where you can get them, man.
Strike!
Free beers all day on the patio. But anyway, how do you like? I haven't got it logoed yet, but I've got my new on. I got an orange.
Oh, you got the freaking little
Giant Sports Talk Live, and we'll be live on location here opening day. I don't know if we'll have a lot to. Well, opening day, you've always got a lot to cheer about. Whether we show up on day 2 is yet to be determined.
Right on, man. That's freaking cool, dude.
I'm going to get cool. Skaters, I think, is going to come on with me live.
Right on, man. Hey, special shout out to Greg, Skaters on Baseball, Dan and Lou and Los. They welcomed me over there on.
Were you over there too?
Yeah, man. I was all over the place, dude.
Where haven't you been today?
This is my last stop. If anyone wants me to come on the show after this, forget about it. But my God, dude.
Well, anyways, I hope they haven't worn you out. Have we got anything to talk about tonight?
Dude, you're talking to this guy.
I saw the thumbnail, though. Jesus, dude, we're talking about Pete Alonso tonight. Going to be a short show for me. Jesus.
Glenn, there's been times when we put a show out there and we're like, it ain't going to go past an hour, and we wind up going 3.
3 hours later.
Dude, hey, that's what we do, man.
Yeah, but there's only one thing that scares me away. I can go for 3 hours with you. Usually about the 2.5 hour mark, I start to lose.
Start sucking wind.
But when you get, it's either Chardol or Marcus. I go,
hey, Marcus was good yesterday, man. Marcus was good yesterday.
I know. I'm only picking on him. And same with Chardol. Chardol.
Oh, of course. I knew it.
On the air.
I knew as soon I was making the thumbnail. As I was sitting there ready to go on Greg's show, I was putting our thumbnail together.
Dude, and I was like, in the green room ready.
I guarantee you, I was like, Dilly is going to love the thumbnail on this one. And there you go. Ooh, boy, do we have a topic. We're going to get into it.
Is it even relevant, Eric? Do you think I'm not even where are you hearing that the San Francisco Giants are going in on Pete Alonso?
Nowhere.
Exactly.
The only thing we can put together. And hold on, before I saw this come across.
What do you got?
The Jays plan to try to extend Vlad Guerrero, not trade him. But after the Soto deal, is Vlad worth $400 million or even $500?
He wants 450. The Jays are nowhere near that. I don't think they've committed over 400 yet.
They want to extend him. So if you want to extend him, what's that mean? You got to pay him a lot of money.
Oh, Eric, John Heyman will be saying tomorrow by noon, apparently the Jays are not going to extend him. So Eric, I'm starting to take things with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. All right. So the news came out today. John Heyman, John, a.k.a. Scott Boras, has come out and said that the Mets and Pete Alonso look like that is not going to happen. So it sounds like he is out there for the game.
And that's exactly why it will happen.
Right. Exactly. Now,
putting the pressure.
You want to start putting things together? What did John Heyman say yesterday? He said, he won't be surprised if the Giants add some more people. So it's a little bit interesting. I mean, is it a coincidence or is it just whatever? I don't know. I'm telling you right now, I'm on record. He's not coming to the Giants because I'm done.
Second, hold on. What did I tell you last night? I think you agreed with me, Eric. I think you came in agreeing with me for a change. I said if the Jays add Polar Bear, I don't think he's coming to San Francisco regardless. So what I said last night on the show or the night before was the fact that if the San Francisco Giants decide to move out, get a bat, try to get people were talking about Gritcheck. I really don't care. But will there be any relative signing ahead? Any relevance to a signing area? What are we talking about? We added a bat. Well, whoop-dee-doo. What do you see them adding, Eric, that is just going to take us to the next level?
Well, let's kick this around. Hypothetically, let's just say this, Glenn. What if they say they get Pete Alonso between a 3 and 5 year deal, somewhere in there, okay?
I don't think they will, given the fact they've got Wilmer and they've got Lamont. Lamont would have to go somewhere in a trade. You're not going to keep these guys.
So you're going to wind up having to move some of these guys. So you could keep Wilmer on the bench, that whatever,
Too much
maybe.
Or in one position, guys who are already signed. I don't get it, but hey.
Here we go. If you are able to sign Pete Alonso, again, this is all hypothetical. I'm not saying it's going to happen. If you look at the description, the first thing I said is the Giants will not, in caps, sign Pete Alonso. But let's go take a trip down hypothetical lane. That's all we do. That's all we can do. If the Giants do sign Pete Alonso, does it lengthen the lineup? We can all agree, yes, it links. At least you get some protection in the lineup for Willie Adames, Matt Chapman, Elliot Ramos. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Links in the lineup, right?
Sure,
so you get a guy who's going to pop.
I don't want to see him sign somebody who's irrelevant, look at Soler last year. What did we get at him? He couldn't wait to get rid of him. People were like, "Oh my God, we got Soler!" And then by July, you were like, "Geez, can we please just unload this guy?"
No, I get it. But now, I'm not. Look, I don't think Pete Alonso is a Soler, but I get what you're trying to say. Now, here's the question, Glenn. This is a bigger question because this ties into next year. If the Giants, again, hypothetically, were able to sign Pete Alonso, does that give the Giants a better chance in going after, say, a Kyle Tucker? It makes the team a little bit more attractive as far as, okay, the Giants are putting something together. All you got to do is pay me. And it's more attractive to a free agent being that you have something put together.
It's attractive, but when you say, all right, what do you think? You think the Polar Bear comes here on a 1 or a 2 year deal with an opt-out or something? I think he's going to want 5 years, Eric. So then what happens, and what I'm majorly afraid of, is the fact you sign. Hey, great signing. I don't know about 5 years. That gets back in. You know what? How I treat that? I treat that like Chapman's deal. Like, oh my God, 5 years, especially with Eldridge coming. But then my question to you is, Eric, when do the San Francisco Giants and their ownership group start to get cold feet about spending money? Well, we've already spent some money. We can't go out and get Tucker. They're not good. This isn't a freewheeling and a free spending team, Eric. So if you add him and you've got to pay the guys we've got, you just signed the biggest deal for Adames.
Yeah.
You honestly think that next year they'll be like, let's spend money and go all in on Tucker? I'm a little worrisome.
The only reason why I say that is because the Giants are losing money next year as well. What I mean by losing, they're losing. You're not going to have Taylor and Tyler Rogers. You're not going to have Wade. You're not going to have Yaz. You're not going to have Wilmer. So altogether, you're making up like, what is that? Close. You're over. That's over $30 million that are coming up.
All right, but if you lose the Rogers brothers, especially with Taylor, who I don't, or Tyler, who I really don't admire as a pitcher. People say he eats a lot of innings, but man, he always seems to freaking. And then I've watched the last few years of Giants baseball, watching Tyler come in and go, oh my God. I keep saying Taylor. It's
all good.
Not only are they brothers, dude, their names are so closely associated. So you bring in your submariner, who the announcers in this organization always go, well, he was bitten by bad luck again tonight. I'm like, come on, guys. This is a habitual thing. Well, it was a ground ball that no other pitch. Oh, he could, yeah, any other ball team, well, they wouldn't have given up that hit. But it's not so bad. I'm like, come on, stop making excuses. But where do we go then? We're gonna have to start adding a bullpen piece or two next year, Eric. It's a continual. That's why I want to lock guys in who are young. We don't have to worry about it. Let them grow. Let water the plant. Let it grow, Eric. Percolate on that thing.
Right. And again, if you do sign Alonso, you give a chance for Eldridge to actually develop and not rush him with a Pete Alonso, right? So then when Eldridge comes up, Pete Alonso can transition straight to DH.
Oh,
okay. I mean, that's a possibility.
I was afraid you were going to use that word again. Well, he can
DH.
He can mentor. He can mentor.
Oh, no, I didn't say mentor. No.
I hope you don't.
No.
I hate that now.
And here's another
one everybody's all in on, Eric. Oh, these older players, they're there to mentor. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I hear you.
If you're a major league ball player, I don't need you to mentor. You've got coaches, Eric. The coaches have played. Let him mentor.
Yep. And look, there is something to it, but the primary thing is you want them to go out there and play. Now, here's the deal. There's also another piece of news that came out. Bregman, did you hear Bregman will not entertain a short-term deal? He wants a long-term deal.
So is it going to be a week before the season? Maybe some of these players do that like last year. I thought that
position players could get away with that because it doesn't take them long to really get
yeah, they like to. This is a prime example of how to get out of spring training ritual.
Yeah, good point.
Harper did that. He signed like a week before the season. Well, I went, geez, he's just getting out of spring training. He's like, I don't want to do all that.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Practice. Come on.
So we went over the hypothetical for Alonso in San Francisco. Where do you think he signs? What contending team needs a first baseman? I can think of one.
Who do the Yankees have at first base?
There you go. That's it. That's the Yankees. Yeah, I think you go with the Yankees.
He could just skip across town.
I mean, they did get Bellinger. I don't know what they're going to primarily do. No, D-backs don't need it. They just got Josh Naylor.
Nothing on Roki yet. Nothing on Roki.
No, nothing on Roki.
Keeping an eye out. My phone is set. Nothing. It's been crickets today, man.
Oh, Goldschmidt. Duh. I forgot. Never mind. I totally forgot about that. Holy shit.
He's with the Yankees.
Forgot about that. No, who did Walker sign with? He signed with Houston, right?
Jeez, I'm losing track of it, Eric.
I'm losing track.
I forgot about Goldschmidt.
Right? I forgot about Goldschmidt, man. I totally forgot about that. Holy shit. Yeah, Walker went to the Astros. Josh Naylor went to the Diamondbacks. Seattle needs a first baseman, the GOAT. Where do you think he signs? Glenn,
they're a sneaky little team, though. They're a sneaky little team. Could you see him going to Seattle? What about San Diego? Who they got at first base?
Arias.
Yeah, but is he an everyday first baseman, though?
Yeah.
He wasn't even playing first base during the playoffs. Do you remember? Donnie Barrels got in there at first base a lot during the late stages when they were hot.
No, Donnie Barrels kind of sat for a little bit. It was Arias at first base during the playoffs.
I think the Padres could benefit by adding more than anybody. I think they could benefit if they added Pete Alonso. San Diego Padres, Eric. I think that's a great fit.
But
whether he wants to go there?
Do they got the money though?
Oh, dude, I'm not even believing all this stuff about they're gonna sell out team and they're having problems.
No, it's not even that,
dude. At the end of the day, they'll get it.
They had to take a loan to pay the damn payroll. They don't have a TV deal, unlike Cincinnati Reds. Hey,
unlike the Dodgers.
What's up, Robert?
I know that, Alex, but don't I've learned one thing doing this show and following baseball as many years as I have. Just don't always expect.
You never count out.
Expected.
I get you. You did look, and I get, and that makes sense.
Dude, no one in this chat. I sat here for a week and said, Eric, mystery team on Burns. Yeah. Oh no, God no. And who got him? A mystery team.
Yeah, pissed me off. That's what it did.
That's never underestimate because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Baseball is unpredictable. Ace. Absolutely.
Roki, you know where Roki's going? West Coast. Flip the coin.
Don't even get me started on that, man. I don't want to go down that. That's just going to piss me the hell off, man. There was something. Oh, Glenn, how did we forget? Bad news today. Baseball. Yeah. Bob Uecker up in the front row.
Get outside, Eric.
Up in the front row. Yeah, it's a shame, man. He lived a long, full life. So
90. Jesus, Eric, I'm more than halfway. Yeah, some days I get out of bed and realize I'm over the hump. I'm like on the downhill slope. These guys, 90, Eric. When you're 90, if you're blessed to live that long, you're gonna say, geez, I feel like I'm 20. Like, dude, like 90. When you go, man, you go. It's
a shame.
Scares me.
Damn.
The older I get, it scares
Again,
me.
you grow up listening to these guys, it's just
I don't know where I'm going, so you might have to check for an address when I'm dead and gone.
Yeah, David Lynch, he also passed away.
Really?
Yeah, David Lynch passed away. He's a big filmmaker.
I know,
right?
Alex. I know. Stop it. Once is enough.
It's okay. They're just talking.
I know. Well, they're talking. I saw the name Glenn in there. I'm like, I know. Yeah. Somebody actually, was it Robert? Somebody texted me, said, I think it must have been your skater show or one of the shows. He said, I think Eric's heavy on the caffeine today. I hope it's just caffeine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
Robert's excited. Robert, our old pal, DeVille.
Robbie.
I told him I got season tickets for the Valkyrie, and he keeps texting me every day that he's getting me. Oh, me and Bernice are going. I got this guy gets lower bowl tickets in the front row for everything. I don't know who he knows, but he's out there more than me, man. He's like, how would you like to sit in the second row? I'm like, well, aren't they like $2,000 tickets? Don't worry about it. Jeez. And you and I met him. I'm like, oh, we're sitting way up there. Where are you sitting? Oh, I'm sitting by the batting circle. I'm like, get the hell out. Oh, yeah. I know Bochy. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I love Robert DeVille, man.
Robert's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see? Well, we could talk about this later. SpaceX launched their rocket today.
Oh, Jesus, SpaceX.
Pretty damn impressive. We'll watch.
I added a new. I was thinking of you. This came in the mail today. I added a new locomotive for my end.
Hey, look at that! What is that? Is that an F9? No, F7, F5, or F7? Or it might be an E.
I didn't look at the specs, but
there you go, a little Santa Fe, man.
It's
got
used,
the war bonnet.
Man, it's used but mint. So I needed a new loco. Hey,
I
Eric,
love the war bonnet.
Because we don't really have a lot, on the go. Would you do me a big favor? I got a question for you.
I may have an answer.
I have a deep. You want to talk about SpaceX, which has nothing to do with the Giants. So
zero.
Can you bring up your, the big boy video?
Mm-hmm.
Give me the big boy video. And I want to ask you a question. Something I noted in that the other day. You had it on Military History Channel.
I did.
I have a question about it.
Which one? The first video or the second?
Second's a good one. It doesn't matter because both I think you're gonna get the gist of what I'm asking. And you're a guy who's into those the trains. I'm into the model trains. You're into the big boys. But I have a question about it.
Here we go.
Okay. Now you watch as that thing slides by, belting on the horn so it doesn't run over anybody.
Man, that thing gives me goosebumps every time, baby.
Hey, watch. Here it comes, Eric.
I can't pause it.
All righty, Eric. So my question to you is, if you watch that very closely, I have never, other than your two videos for whatever reason, I have never seen a locomotive, 2 or 3 cars, and a locomotive. They stack the locomotives at the front end of the procession. Why do your videos why is it pulling? I saw a black car, then I saw a couple of freight cars or whatever they were.
You know what you saw? You saw the locomotive.
I saw a locomotive.
You saw a tender. You saw the tender, the black tender.
Yeah.
And then they carry additional tenders so they don't have to stop for water and oil as much. So you got a locomotive, a tender, and then you got a DPU, which is the diesel
I've never
locomotive.
seen that before.
Yeah, they do that because most locomotives don't have tenders. Tenders were like back in the day with steam and coal.
And here's a question then for you.
That's electric.
Look at this. I even got my fake. Well, it's not fake.
Yeah.
Get electrocuted here. I got my track, right?
Yeah.
And still track. So the train's chugging down the track.
Uh-huh.
Why do they put the locomotives
They do that.
Why?
It just depends on which direction the locomotive is. When it's now on the head end's always got to have the cab forward. It's always got to be cab forward with the head end. After that, it could be they run just the same in forward as they do ahead.
Oops, I'm off the tracks. I'll fix it later. I went off the rails. Anyway, just thought I'd ask you because
there you go. That's the only reason. They had the locomotive again. That locomotive is used to save the brakes on the steam locomotive because it uses its dynamics brakes. Dynamic brakes is it uses the engine, so to speak, to slow down the locomotive, and you don't have to use the brake pads. All right, there we go.
Well, tonight it's Locomotive Talk Live.
Why not?
Yeah, we talk about anything and everything here. Speaking of going off the rails, Eric, Another Lights Entertainment production brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. All right, we were talking about Pete Alonso, guys. Let's all chime in. What do you guys think?
Let's hear it, guys.
Hey, we got Skanky Pants. Maybe Skanky Pants wants to talk about it.
What's up, guys?
Jodball comes in with hot takes.
Let's go this direction. Where do you put the let's do a poll. What's the chances of Alonso coming to the San Francisco
I want to hear it from the
Giants?
chat. Toronto media talking heavy about the Jays maybe going in on him. Not just going in on him. Apparently they're talking, Eric.
That I have not heard.
I heard they initiated some initial talks. So let's see what happens. Wouldn't that be something?
Let's go.
All the guys who come in here on a nightly basis and say, oh, my God, the Toronto Blue Jays, they've got nothing. They've got nothing. They're one of the worst teams. Oh, they're in the whole they're not so far off behind us, to be honest with you. A couple of moves, they're right there with us. This rich team we call San Francisco Giants, man, and how do we end up with what we got? Oh, well, I know the answer. Don't answer that, Eric. Do you think Robert Rothberg says the polar bear would be a fan favorite? And I don't want to hear about, oh my God, Eric, they throw names out there. People will be out there getting tickets to see him. I don't know. Do you think he'd be a fan favorite at Oracle? I don't think they know enough about the East Coast team. And
I think, he's got the name. The polar bear's got the name.
I don't know. I'm not rushing. Again, these are just guys. I'm more into having my player. You guys all know my guy is Wilmer. But then when I go to the ballpark, I want to see somebody with a spring in his step. I want to see this year what Jung Hoo Lee brings to the table. I want to see Fitzgerald. I want to see young players. I want to grow. I want to see the players grow within the organization.
Okay, how about this? Glenn.
I feel like he's just
let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
Yeah, I'm talking.
So you got listen to this lineup though. If you got Chapman, Adames, Fitzgerald, young guy, polar bear, first base, catcher, Patrick Bailey, young guy, left field, Ramos, young guy, center field, Jung Hoo Lee, young guy, right field, Matos, young guy. Next year, Chapman, Adames, maybe Fitzgerald again at second base. Then you got Eldridge, young guy. All right. You got the polar bear DA. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're kind of mixing it up. You're mixing it up.
Yeah, but listen to me. I think there's more to gain from getting young players. Like I said, not maybe if you don't want to call it blowing it up, because we do have some young players on the roster, Eric. Mm-hmm. But adding young players, letting them grow. And we've already come to the conclusion, Eric, that we're not in it to win it for the next couple of years anyway. We're not win it for the next couple of years. We're not even going to be in it for the next couple of years. So I think when you keep adding what I call Band-Aid players, your older free agent players, polar bear.
He's only 30.
He's only 30. I think he's old.
No,
but I think when you add players like that and they're not growing and they're not meshing together and developing together, I just always feel like you're putting together a team that's trying to catch lightning in a bottle.
Maybe. Maybe. I think the team is.
And then there's too many opt-outs, right? Oh, you don't even get the old guys sticking around.
That's just the nature of the game. Opt-outs and deferments is going to be the future.
And get me young players with 6 years and let them grow.
But the problem is, you know how long it takes for those young players to actually start producing? It takes a little while. And I think, look, if you mix it together,
it's only been a couple of years now, Eric. You're talking about, I want to see what Matos is going to bring. And Fitzgerald, you're plugging them in this year, expecting them to produce. And we're only a couple of years in.
I don't know. I would like to see them produce. I got hopes. I want to see what they have. Here, let's do this, guys. Ooh.
Exactly, Alive. Come on. Give me some young players.
But we do have young players. That's what I'm trying to say. Hold on, let's do this.
Skanky Pants. Little Miss Skank Pants says Alonso will take them above first place.
Hold on, let me think about this.
Nope. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Freddie Freeman or Pete Alonso, Eric?
Oh, I would love to have Freddie Freeman, man.
Exactly. So how can you even compare the first base situation with the Dodgers and say Pete Alonso will take us above first place? We'll be a first place team, Eric. I don't see it. Like, again, I think that's just the fans' perspective. Trying to keep it real here, guys.
That's fair.
You know, even with Pete Alonso, you think we're winning 90 games, Eric?
Ooh, hold on. I'm trying to figure this one out.
Guys in the chat seem to think we're going to win a 90-game season, and maybe this year if we had the right piece. I don't think it's going to happen. Hey, Skaters! Skaters on Baseball. Good show tonight.
What's up, man? I'm just putting something together. Just bear with me.
The show was pretty good. You know what was even better? I liked the preview for it.
That shit's great.
I think Christian did that. That was great. We ran it on the show here, promoing it. It was great. Eric's head was bouncing around, and you can't shut him up.
It's good stuff.
When Eric dies, you're going to have to get a big stick. You beat his mouth to death. You're going to be dead, Eric, and your mouth's still going to be going beep, 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 beep. Like wound up chattering teeth. Eric's had a busy day. You're roaming the Eric's doing the circuit today, guys. This is his third show in 3 hours.
I know, dude.
Hey, Rob C's dropping in tonight. Good to see
What's up, Rob? All right, let's take a look at this. In no particular order.
Right on, Alive. I agree with you.
So we got, let's count the young guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. More than half of your roster would be young guys. Again, this is going to be as of 2026.
Okay, can I jump in and ask you a question that came to my mind this afternoon, Eric? When they were talking about Polar Bear, maybe, possibly, potential he could sign with the Toronto Blue Jays. And I thought, so what if the Jays decide to move on from Vladdy? I think it'd be great to keep them both there. But let's say we could land Vladdy. That's the question that came to my mind this afternoon. I said, I've got to ask Eric tonight. We put together a few ideas for trades. If they call up and say, here's the package, it includes Bailey. Do you make the deal?
Bailey for who again?
If Toronto Blue Jays give you a call and say, hey, you guys might be interested in Vladdy. And Buster's like, I'm listening. Here's a package of, a top prospect or two, a pitcher like Harrison. They said, to make the deal, the only way the deal gets done is Bailey. We need a catcher. We have no catching in our future. Tough. We need Bailey. Do you do the deal, Eric?
I don't know, man. That's tough. And there's a reason why. Because you need a catcher. He's a Gold Glove catcher. He's a gold. I mean, that one's tough.
I think I'd move off Bailey.
Yeah. Would you do this?
Get Vladdy Guerrero? Why would you?
What if it's
100 hitter, Eric? When you can get a Vladdy Guerrero in your lineup,
because you still.
I'm willing to compensate a catcher
for 1 year.
Vladdy.
For 1 year, or would you?
No, you got to extend them. I mean, I think it goes without saying. Anybody who trades for this guy, you got to have an extension.
That's a tough one. If he re-signed, that's a different story. But for 1 year,
I think you got it.
I get what you're saying.
Eric,
I get what you're saying.
I'm not all in on defensive catching, as you know.
You have to, though.
I don't think he brings enough to the plate.
You have to have a defensive catcher.
You can't.
Because if you can't pitch, you ain't. Because the Giants ain't going to be part of this. And the Giants need to have a catcher that can catch the
I
staff.
can't believe you'd even think about it. Here's the deal.
Oh, yeah.
It includes
If
Bailey. But we're going to give you
1
Vladdy
year?
Guerrero, and he'll
Not
extend.
for 1 year. Not for 1 year.
So if
Not
it
for
was
1 year.
if you made the trade and knew he was going to be here for 4 years, you'd do the deal with Bailey?
I would do the deal. Then
All
I
right.
would do the deal.
All right, good.
That's a
All
different
right,
deal.
we're getting somewhere, guys.
Here we go.
Somewhere. Eric's on board.
Now let's talk.
And it's
This.
like it's not like we don't have catching in our organization.
I don't see the Giants trading. I just don't see. I think they just not. After hearing what Buster Posey had to say, I don't see it.
Yeah, I got to
look at this lineup: Lee, Ramos, Eldridge, Alonso, Adames, Chapman, Matos, Fitzgerald, Bailey. That's pretty decent.
It's all right.
That's pretty decent. That's gonna win you some games, man.
It's all right.
I like it. I would do that.
If I'm going to be a Debbie Downer, here's my Debbie Downer of the night, Eric. I think here's what I expect. You know why I think we're going to be a 500 ball club, Eric? I think the nights that you get enough out of that lineup to score your runs, we're not going to get the pitching. And the nights we get the pitching,
I get you.
The runs.
There's always that risk. I get you. I feel you. But hey, we only get
last year. How many games did you see Logan Webb pitch last year? And
he didn't have the run support. Yeah. But see, this is the thing. This lineup, 1 through 6, is all legit, right? 7, 8, 9 could be meh, but it's we'll say it's legit. And I think you're gonna do a lot more with that lineup, man. I like it. I think
it's very weak on the back end, though.
Yeah, sorta. But you know what? You can't look. We can't put together a super team. It's impossible. We're asked. You know what we're doing? You can't build a monster team. You just can't. You're going to have guys who aren't, quote unquote, at the top level.
Would you be open to moving Fitzgerald up higher, maybe batting second to get two kind of?
I don't know, because I really don't want to bat. Okay, then where would you swap Fitzgerald with?
I don't think I'd swap him. I'd drop him into number 2 and let them slide. Ramos 3rd. I'd have Alonso 4th, perhaps.
Then
maybe move Eldridge down for the time being. I mean, young player, Eric. Let's put Eldridge down a little lower and see what he does.
Mark, this is for 2026, not 2025. 2020. This is
a lot could happen. By next year, you could say, "Holy crap, Glenn! What we were talking about? Fitzgerald's your leadoff man. Maybe you put something together that's unstoppable with his."
Now, how about this? If we're talking 2026, and this isn't out of the realm, and again, guys, hypothetical. I'm not saying this is going to happen.
Yes, Steven.
Because every time I freaking go out on a limb, oh boy, this is going to change. This is going to change the lineup. I'm just going to put him in there.
I like Lee in leadoff too, but
what do you do? Now, what do you think?
Lee, if he's going to bat leadoff and his style of play, Eric, you got him, get him moving on the bases.
I agree. And look at this. Oh, you're talking about moving on the bases. Look, the next year you swap out Matos for Tucker. Lee can run. Ramos can run. Adames can run. Chapman can run. Tucker can run. Fitzgerald can run. You got a lot of running in that lineup.
Yeah.
Again, this is dreaming, guys. We're dreaming.
We're
dreaming. I get it. Again, hypotheticals, guys. That's all I'm doing. I'm just doing hypotheticals.
That's what Cliff Richard and Blondie said. Dreaming of me and you. All right, Eric. Whew. We also then would have to take a look. The lineup certainly would be shaping up. What are we going to do with pitching? It scares me when I hear Buster Posey on the radio and he says, if we get a decent year out of a 42-year-old pitcher, nothing says we don't bring him back. I'd bring him back at 43.
Glenn, next year, there's also a couple of free agents. I forgot. Who reminded me? Toby. Toby, if you're out there, thank you, sir. He brought up the idea. Dylan Cease, Framber Valdez.
Yeah, but you love spending Johnson's money, don't you? It's easy for you to say.
Hey, I know. I get it. What's up, Val? I get it, man. I understand. But hey, somebody's got to do the thinking.
Val brings us back down to earth, and this is the problem. The Dodgers' best team in not only our division.
I know that.
I said this could last for a decade, Eric. They just signed a young Hai-Sung Kim. This team continues. Like I said a few weeks ago, they're not afraid to move off a player that we wouldn't. They wouldn't look at a guy like, oh, Ramos. Can't move Ramos. The Dodgers are the type of team who would say, we'll give you Ramos, but we're going to get better by acquiring said player. The Giants have always had, and it's nothing new in this organization, a love affair with players. And like you said, Bailey, all right, so he doesn't hit this year. He's a great defense catcher. We got to have him. I'd move off him, but that's all right. And he wasn't the most pleasant. You know, the FanFest, Eric, it's supposed to be, it's for the fans. It's supposed to be fan friendly. God, he never spoke to anybody last year.
I don't do the FanFest.
Last
time I did FanFest,
went to one and had a great time. And then when they dispersed it, and they have it in San Jose, and they have it up your way, and it's in Napa, it's everywhere. I'm like, you kind of want, like the Giants, it's getting watered down, Eric. Give me one big day, a big fiesta. And it used to be at Oracle Park. It was the big one. Everybody got geared up for training camp. Not anymore. They got to start. Oh, you know what that smells like, Eric? Let's just go and find us somewhere where we can sell tickets, Eric. Let's have one in Napa.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if it had to do with parking because so many damn people showed up. I don't know.
What's wrong, Mike? Mike's like, come on, Glenn. What did I say, Eric?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You're a Grinch. They're cheap.
Why? Because I won't go to the FanFest? Well, if I'm the Grinch,
I don't go to the FanFest.
Like you.
I don't. Yeah, I did. Last time I did FanFest was 2013.
You can be you're the Grinch. I'm the Grim Reaper. Yeah, I went around 2018 was my last FanFest, Eric. Remember, that's where I almost got caught stealing the dirt in the infield.
Oops.
Yeah. Well, they covered it up with a tarp, and I'm like, is anybody looking? And Bernice is like, don't do it. She's more concerned about her getting in trouble than me. She's like, don't do it. I'm like, anybody looking? She's like, no, but I'm leaving. So I'm shuffling my feet and making this big pile, and I just grab a bag. I think it was the Alaska Airlines booth. They were giving away goodies, and I had a little bag. I just filled it with dirt. Then what happened was I was flying back to Canada. I took the dirt in the bag, my luggage. Oh, they don't like you bringing infield dirt from Oracle Park in your bag. They're like, sir, we have to what is this? What foreign being tested for foreign substances at the airport? I go, I think I told you this story. The guy at Homeland Security is like, what is this? I said, it's actually infield dirt from Oracle Park. Were you there yesterday? He goes, go ahead. No, yeah, go ahead. He was a Giants fan.
Fine. Well, there you go.
Giants fan. Lucky. I got lucky. They were going to confiscate my infield dirt.
There you go. All right, here, let me take a look at the poll. Let's see where we're at. 87 votes. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, chances the Giants sign Alonso. 36% say 0%.
What?
28% say 10%. 32% say 50. 5% say 100%.
Really?
So 50-50. 0% is the highest. 36%, but interesting.
Hey, Mitlab, I've been over to the penitentiary in the Bay, and I don't think I'd do well.
There we go.
I'd be somebody else. I don't know. I'd be somebody else's dinner. I'd act the tough game, but man, you put me in with the mafia. I don't think I'd last till Friday. Nah.
Okay, let's do some more hypothetical. Glenn, I'll ask you this. If the Giants were to sign Pete Alonso, what would it take to sign the guy? Years and number of money.
I don't want you to laugh. I don't know his real value monetarily. What do I think?
That's fair.
Do you think it's unfair? There's a preference. I don't prefer this, but I think it's going to be a 5-year deal.
Okay.
With maybe an opt-out if you're lucky at maybe 3. He's not going to take an easy opt-out. He wants the money. Between 260 and 320 for 5 years.
Holy shit.
5 years, 260. 5 years, 260.
Holy shit.
You don't think 260?
No.
For 5 years, 260?
Let me see that.
I think 5 years, it's going to add up, Eric. 260.
52 million a year?
Well, maybe that is a little much.
No, dude.
Well, that's a little much. And you know, it's not the money that
gonna
scares me. It's the time frame that's most scary to me, Eric. I don't want the guy around for 5 years.
I was thinking around 30, but maybe 27. 20. Let's do this.
Yeah, I should have looked at it more like that. I'm sorry, guys. I should have looked at it more like your annual average would be.
Let's hold on. Let's do this. Let's say how many per year? Let's go per year.
28 or 29.
So let's go 28 million a year.
Justin says 29. I got to agree with that. I came in a little strong. Sorry.
No worries. So that's about 140 million a year.
Don, I'm on board now. I get a little dude. I'm going to start using my new calculator here.
There we go.
They got all these like tangent things, and I don't know.
Don't even get me started on the statistic crap.
Types and sins and tangents and cotangents. I just need a calculator with pluses and minuses, baby.
But 140. Look, 5 years.
One that says AAV on it. That's what I need.
Pete wants years.
Yeah.
Would you do? Okay. If it's the Giants, you're gonna have to overpay because of the Giants, right? So so 5 years, right? You would take him to the age 35. Now remember, he's going to be a DH.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to play first base next year, possibly the next year. He's going to be a DH. So his skills with the bat will stay fairly high because he's not playing defense and swinging the bat.
5 at 28 is 145. I think they got to overpay. It could cost you 160 to 165.
You say 160. So
5 years.
160 divided by.
Because what would that be? About
32 million.
Yeah, somewhere around there. That's what I think, Eric. You're talking about an overpay. I don't think he's coming in.
Yeah, you're going to have to overpay. Yeah. 7 years from no, Alex. No.
But maybe we don't have to rush into this, Eric, because he's not getting offers from everybody else. You know why he's going to have to settle for a short-term deal? It's because nobody's offering him a long-term deal, Eric.
Hey, right. Armand. Yes, he played 161s at first base, but dude, he sucked at first base. I don't care if he played 162 games at first. He sucked. There's no way he's going to stay at first base. He'll play first base one more year. Remember, we're paying him a lot of money.
31-year-old DH.
You're paying a lot of money. Just saying. He either takes it or then just let him go. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, you're going to be our first baseman for the next 5 years. Get out of here. Not when we got Bryce Eldridge.
Yeah, once you sign him, Eric,
out of here.
You got him for DH. You got Eldridge at first. And then if you don't like it, tough. You're a major league ball player making close to $200 million. You're going to play where we say.
Thank you. Man. I'm not paying more than that, though. I'm not paying more than 160 for 5 years.
Flores doesn't suck at first, man. I think a lot of people, I don't know what it is. Maybe, you know what? I don't think Wilmer Flores or Lamont Wade Jr., Eric, for that matter, I don't think they're brand name. They're not a brand. People aren't buying into them. They're not Wilmer could hit 25 plus home runs this year if he gets to play every day. But he's not a brand, Eric. Everybody likes, you noticed, right? They like the big shiny toy, the free agent side. Oh, we got Pete Alonso. Well, what if Pete comes in and hits 19 home runs and Flores ends up going somewhere else and hitting 32? Then you'll be saying, well, that was just a fluke. It's a fluke, Eric. They want the shiny. Giant fans like the shiny toy, man.
Bring this up.
I don't think Lamont Wade's cut out for much. Mike says Flores is washed up. We'll see. I have faith in Wilmer Flores. Now, Lamont Wade Jr.'s really got to pick it up.
I'm tired. And Senior, I see what you're saying. I don't give a shit about individual stats. If a player is more worried about their individual stats, then they don't need to be playing on the San Francisco Giants. I don't care about Verlander getting his 300th win. I don't care about Alonso getting his 500. Who cares?
If you're going to shit on Wilmer Flores, come up with a better excuse. Justin, our old buddy, says Flores can't field or throw. Well, Eric, there's no better positioning in Major League Baseball on any freaking American League or National League roster for a player who can't field or throw than first base or DH. That's where you put Eric,
the problem with Wilmer Flores at first base is his range. He has no range. Same thing with Pete Alonso.
Eric,
no range.
Eric, I know you're going to say, "Well, geez, look at this guy's batting average," and don't make excuses. But I'll tell you one thing: Vladdy Guerrero has just as much range as Wilmer Flores.
Yeah, you're on to something.
So
but his bat's a lot better too.
Don't sit there, guys. Eric, don't sit there and tell me, well, he has no range. I understand his range. He's getting up there. His range is a little shot. The knees aren't good, Eric. But you bring in a bulking beast like Vladdy, he's got no range at first base, Eric. He's not the world's best first baseman, but he's going to give you the bat. So let's just calm down. Sorry. Calm down. I should calm down. It's more like it. Calm down and see what Wilmer does when the season starts.
Oh, man.
I'm getting, you know what? The season's getting closer, and I'm going to get a little more fired up about Wilmer. My luck, they cut him about 2 weeks into training camp. And then I go sour. You've never seen anybody escorted out of Giant Sports Talk Live in a straitjacket. It may be a first. angry Glenn, Paddy Wagon might come and take me away.
Okay, the reason why I put that is Pete Alonso's fielding, his range, and his arm strength. That's why I say he needs to be a DH. Talking about Pete Alonso. And where's Dilly? Dilly, you got no issue with him being a designated hitter, right? You just want him on the team, man. He wants him out there hitting. My name is Pete, and I hit dingers. That's what he wants.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
I see you, Dilly.
Eric, the same can be said for you when you come in here all the time, and you did it earlier. Mm-hmm. And you say, "Oh, I'd have to question a trade involving Bailey. Can't hit, but he can catch, man. He's a great catcher."
You got to.
It's along the same lines.
No, it's not. There's a difference.
When guys are, I don't care if Pete can catch a ball at first base, and I don't care if he's got, but he can hit. It's the same as you said.
Catcher's a little bit different.
Bailey can't hit, but he can catch.
It's a little bit different because the catcher is responsible. I mean, that's a huge job on the field. You got to catch that staff. And if you can't catch that staff, you could be costing some games, man.
We need more guys in the chat like Robert Rothberg, because you know what? There's a guy who knows baseball. All right.
Come on.
He knows baseball.
Hey, if I got in that chat,
and he can get on. He's got a good eye at the plate. He's got an eye.
Hey, if I came in as Joe Schmo in the chat and I said Wilmer Flores is clutch, you would say the same thing to me if I was Joe Schmo.
You're damn right I would. Yeah.
Look at Robert Rothberg. He agrees with
Wilmer's not elite. He's not prestigious. But you know what? He's going to get.
He has a bat. Yeah, I agree. He has a bat.
Mike, what is this like? They just poo-poo on him. Oh, no, they're not poo-poo. We're past poo-pooing, Eric. It's downright diarrhea. Mike O saying Flores can barely walk to first base. And another guy says, it might have been Mike as well. Oh, he goes to first base. He gets up there to first base like he's got quarters in his pockets. I don't give a damn. He can hit. He gives you quality at bat. Quality at bat. And the guy's going to be a doubles machine. Mark my words this year, Eric. Doubles machine this year if he's healthy.
It's diarrhea. It's not poo-pooing. It's diarrhea. I haven't heard that. Hey, Steve Anglin, what's up there, buddy? Michael K says the Yankees. He's saying the Yankees will not sign Alonso with Goldschmidt. There you go. I was wrong. Yeah.
We didn't think of that.
So where does he go? Where does Pete Alonso go? Guys, tell me. Chat, let me see. Let's get a roll call. Hey, I like that. I might have to start doing that more often. Roll call. Where does Pete Alonso sign? What's up, Life? Yeah, Dilly, I want you to come in because I know you're a big Alonso guy. Val Ramos, roll call. Mets, Ace, Giants, PMG, Colorado. Armand, Angels.
Anybody
Mets.
in there saying the A's yet? They seem to be a sneaky.
I see Mets.
Club.
I see Angels again. Maybe Cubs says Turd. Maybe Seattle, Mitlab. Steve says either Seattle Blue Jays or Giants. Zeus, Florida. Dodgers. What's up, Kevin? I saw you in the dance chat earlier. What's up, dude? The Kings. Twins, says Salsa.
Sorry, Dan.
The
Sorry,
Twins.
Dan. Sorry, Dan.
Mariners.
I guess I wasn't.
Alive Insurance. Jays, George. What's up, Dan?
You got to keep it clean.
Glenn was drinking a smoothie when you came across with suddenly it didn't taste so bad.
All right, I'm going to make one more comment, Eric, and then I'll let you and the guys in the chat have the floor. I think
you got to get going.
I think it's a non-starter conversation. I think he simply goes back to the Mets, and that.
You think he goes to the Mets? Why? What? You don't make anything of this not going back to the Mets? You think it's just leverage by Boris?
I think he wants to play in the Big Apple, and that's his home, man. I think it's just a delay. I think the whole negotiating is a ploy. I think he's going to just settle a couple of years, New York, and it's done.
Think it's okay.
I think it's that. If I was a betting man, that's where I'm saying he.
Now you got to remember, John Heyman. He is the voice of Boris.
I'd rather listen to you, and I have to, but I'd rather listen to you than him. Hey, Al. What, Al? Night, Glenn. Does that mean good night? How are you? Or you've had enough?
You know what I'm seeing? I think, according to the chat, he could go anywhere. He could go anywhere. I don't see a consensus of where he's going to go. Maybe the Mets. I saw a few Mets. I saw a few Angels, Mariners. I don't see the Mariners breaking off any kind of. Okay, here's a question. Let's go this way. Does Pete Alonso sign a deal with more than 3 years? Hey, we could do another poll.
It was with the Mets. No.
Does he sign for more than 3 years?
Not with the Mets, but
more or less. Let's just say that.
If somebody else is stupid enough to pay him, Eric, maybe he goes 5 years. So he wants long term. There's all these players. You said earlier in the show, Bregman, he's not settling for short term. Well, let's see how long the teams hold out.
Wow. Look at this. This is a consensus almost. No one thinks he goes over 3 years. More or less on 3 years.
So I think
Mike says 3 years exactly with opt-outs.
Team will be bullied if
you'll get a Bellinger type deal. 3 or less, says Dallas.
Good
he
call.
Signs 3 years with the Marlins.
Good call.
MetLab 4. The contrarian YouTube user. I've seen that deal before somewhere.
Oh, Jesus. Then he can just sign somewhere else. Mets. That's fine.
The 1.1.1 or
Matt Chapman special.
The Chapman, yeah.
The Snell special. What you mean?
Well, no, because Chapman got the same.
See, the only thing that I agree with, or I not even agree would be the proper word, would settle is Steve's idea. 3 years, opt out after 2. Then you've got.
I would be okay with that.
First base.
I would be okay with that. At least give us 2 years, right? Would you guys be against that? Fans out there, would you guys be against giving Pete Alonso 3 years, opt out after the second? What do you think? Would you like that?
I like it, Steve.
I wouldn't, honestly, I wouldn't mind it because then maybe you can work on it. If everything works well, maybe you can give him some more money.
Eric.
PMG, no. Oh, hell.
But I don't want Stanton either.
No.
I don't want Stanton either.
Oh, hell no, dude. No.
The guy's doing
no.
it. They come in trying to kill us, man.
No. Okay, we're getting a little sideways. Fans, 3 years, opt out after 2. That would be awesome. Oh, what do we got here?
Rothberg says 4 years. 4 is an odd number for the
Holy
Giants.
shit, senior. What are you doing, dude?
Gosh. You know what, senior? Nothing surprises me with the A's anymore.
30 million a year?
Some of their signings, Eric. They got that two-way young guy. Then they've signed pitching. You know what? They've done a little magic in the offseason, especially going to play in a small ballpark in the ultimate small market. I mean, they got to tip your hat to the A's, man. They've done some damage this year for the club in the offseason. So have the Angels.
Okay. You guys want to go a
What
different
if he went
direction?
to Anaheim? What if he went to Anaheim, had a great year? Mike Trout has a bounce back year. The Angels are back in the running.
I tell you what, guys, hold on. Give me a minute. Glenn, here, just give me a minute. I'll be right back before you get out of here because I have another direction to go. And it involves.
Are you pulling a Bob Dylan?
It involves another free agent.
As long as you're coming back, you're coming back.
I'll be right back.
Direction home.
No, it's all good, dude. Be right back.
Can I do the sponsors? Well, weather.
Go ahead.
All right, there you are. Oh, a talking avatar. I don't know who that guy is, but he just spoke to me. The sponsors for tonight's show include Duxwell Printing, Genesis Gold, IRA.com, Signatures for Soldiers, Lefties in Burlingame, and guys, you have no idea how much I love a day at Lefties. They literally have to kick me out of the baseball card shop. And bettercreditcards.com.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
That's right. Without the sponsors, well, we'd probably still be here. We'd be poor, but we'd still be here. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Want to say a shout out to John at bettercreditcards.com signing up for a 1-year deal. He'll be sponsoring us throughout the season. He is as anxious to get the year underway as Eric and I am. We're less than a month away, guys. Pitchers and catchers. Can you believe that? A month away and pitchers and catchers will be the spring. I love it. You know what's great about the spring? When you're a Giant fan, springtime is a time of renewal. The flowers grow. People are happy, vibrant. We're 0-0 on opening day. And what happens in the fall? Things die, including our hopes. Let's hope we can turn it around this year. What do you think, guys? Yeah, Liam says that spring training brings good vibes. And at least this year we have made some moves. There's going to be some interest in the ball club. There'll be interviews with the newer players. Yes, Skater. I think Wilmer can stay healthy all season long. He's going to have a great year. What's a bigger market, Sacramento or St. Louis? Senior, right about now. I mean, they didn't draw in St. Louis last year. They drew like crap. So we'll see what happens. Apparently the tickets are sold out. So it's going to be a whole lot of fun up there. Eric and I are going to try to get up with Paul to a game. Senior coming. What's bigger, Pittsburgh or Sacramento? What are we going to do? 6 degrees of Sacramento? What's bigger? I don't know. Zeus coming in strong because Eric's not even in the house right now. Eric, we will not turn it around. The ship has sunk. We're down like the Titanic. And the band is singing Nearer, My God, to Thee. Well, Senior, you're killing me. Kansas City. You guys kill me in the chat some nights, man. They were taking shots at you, Erica. It's funny. They never take shots at you until you go to warm up the coffee. And then, Eric!
Were you attacking the chat? Were you attacking the chat?
No, I wasn't attacking them.
You attacked the chat.
No, I didn't. No, who was I attacking? Well, I wasn't attacking. I just didn't agree with him. I just made fun of him because who was it?
I knew it. I knew it.
Zeus came in and goes, Eric, we're not turning it around. I said, yeah. Let me guess. The ship has sunk. The band has already sung Nearer, My God, to Thee. They came in hard on Eric, but he's not here to respond. I don't like that. You got to wait for Eric. Get him wound up tonight. Eric's tired as well. Eric's on his 3rd show.
I'm good, man.
Pounding back the caffeine tonight?
Yeah. Hey.
Marcus says, I'm always on the attack.
Here we go.
I don't know. If you say something nice about Wilmer, I'll get you on.
Oh boy.
I just gave my synopsis about the spring, Eric. Spring is when things come alive. Spring training, the plants are growing, the sun is shining, everything's great. And what happens in the fall every year? Gets doomy, gloomy. Things die in the fall, Eric. The leaves fall off the trees, the plants die, and what happens? Our hopes die every year, Eric.
Okay, here we go. I got a poll in the chat.
Ooh, Juice Newton, or is it not
has
Juice
to go
Newton?
with what I want to talk about, guys.
Olivia Newton-John, you're giving me a chat
Here we go.
attack.
What would you rather do?
Uh-huh.
A longer-term deal with Bregman or a short-term deal with Alonso?
Holy shit. A healthy Wilmer will be productive. See, that's why Marcus and I get along so well.
Look at you.
Right on, Marcus. Marcus gets a
Look at you.
a double.
Hey.
Come
Come
well,
on.
you know, I have to savor the flavor. It doesn't happen very often, Marcus and I get along.
So what would you guys rather do? A longer-term deal with Bregman or a short-term deal with Alonso?
Short term with Alonso for me.
Short-term? Okay, that's fine.
Surprised,
Just interested.
surprised we're over an hour in. No sign of Dilly yet.
Dilly's in there. Yeah, he was asking for
Oh, I
the
thought I'd hear the boop.
Oh, no, I haven't. Here, I'll throw the link out there. Why not?
Oh, I thought you threw it out at the beginning
No.
of the show.
No,
Oh,
no.
geez.
Not yet. Here, I'll throw it out there now.
I was sure I heard you say, oh, come on in.
No, I said later in.
Okay.
Or later in the show, we could have him come in.
Bregman at second, Fitzgerald at first. Nah, I think we got to get a solid,
Could do that.
committed, solid. Don't be fucking around with putting players. So let's
Hold
just
on.
make him a first base. Eric,
No.
do it right.
It's whoever's going to first base is going to be a short term for anyways, because you got Eldridge coming. Let's see where the chat is here.
I still don't like the idea of just throwing guys. It just smells of last year.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up, news has come out that Bregman will not take a short-term deal. So the only way you're going to get Bregman, and look, he has baggage. Me and Christian, we were talking about it today on Skaters. He doesn't want anyone that has to do with being
there it is.
involved with cheating. I get it. I totally understand that. I really do. I'm just saying, is he still a good ball player? He is. Does he have baggage with the cheating? Yes, he does. I get it. I understand. But I'm just wondering, is he a better all-around player than Alonso? Yes.
Yeah, but if you start
Is he
screwing around with signing long-term deals for Bregman, Eric, then that takes you out of the running for guys like Vladdy Guerrero. You can just pencil that out. The Giants are not going to keep spending fistloads of money.
Nope. You don't get Vlad. You just don't get Vlad.
I'd rather Vlad.
You're not going to get Vlad anyways.
You're
not getting Giants are not going to get Vlad. You got a better chance of getting Alonso or Bregman than you do getting Vlad.
Well, we got a better chance of getting Vlad than we had at Soto, and you were all over that. You had the helicopter.
I don't think so, because I think next year, Cohen is going to break open the bank for freaking Vlad next year.
I'm an angry John.
I honestly, that's what I think. I thought if the Giants could trade for Vladdy, which would be incredible, you may have a chance, but I don't think I think if he goes to free agency, the Giants don't get Vladdy. No way. But you can. You have a better shot on getting someone like Bregman or Alonso.
Glenn, I sent you an email.
What's up, Daly? Oh, look at the fireworks.
What's up?
Look at the fireworks with Pete back there.
Oh, yeah.
Giants Sports Talk Live.
So what do you make of it? Do you think he goes back to the Mets? Do you think it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors? What do you think?
No, I don't. Because here's the deal. You guys were saying like 2 year or a 3 year deal, opt out after the second year.
Mm-hmm.
why on earth would he sign that? Like, if he was offered the 3 years, 90 from the Mets with an opt out after every other year or every year, why in the world would he sign a 3-year deal with an opt out after the second year?
Good point.
Like,
what do you think it is? What do you think?
Sense.
What do you think is the hang up then? Why? What is?
He wants years. He wants to sign his last contract, and it's proving to be tough. In my opinion, he wants to go out and get his, this is going to be the team I retire with contract, or close to. This is going to be the team that I make my run with and whatever. And he wants that to be the Mets, and the Mets aren't wanting to give him what he wants. And so it puts him in a sticky situation. So that's why when I heard, or like it was reported, that allegedly he got the 90 for 3 years and all that kind of stuff, I was like, that's perfect. Because all you have to do is sign that. You get your $30 million a year, which is plenty enough money. Thank you very much.
It is $30 million.
Unless he is legitimately looking for 35 plus, which is absurd.
That would be absurd.
Yes. That is ludicrous. But if you think about it, he wants to play for the Mets. That is, I feel like that's a consensus. Like, I feel like we all agree or can agree that he wants, his ideal circumstance would have been a long-term deal with the Mets because he lives there. He came up with them, had success with them, all this stuff. Ideally, he would want to go back to the Mets.
I think it's
they gave him a short-term deal with a high AAV. If he was looking for a short-term deal with a high AAV, what better team to go to than the Mets?
But what does it say, Dilly, about what I've been saying to Eric the last few nights? And you're the perfect guy to throw this one at. I said to Eric, maybe I don't know if it was about Alonso in particular. Eric, you can correct me on it if you want. But I said, if they're willing to throw close to $800 million at Soto, why are you dicking around on just sign them? They're always saying that the ownership in New York, they get their man, they have the money. It's just they throw it around. Just sign them and get on with the day. What's all this haggling and short-term deals and not giving them? You don't think ownership there could just, here, we'll give you 5. You've been you've been a good soldier for us. Here's 5 years. We'll pay you what you want, and you can ride off into the sunset. We'll cut you if we want. It's only
unless they're trying to make a deal or a play on Vladdy next year. That's the thing. Because you can.
I don't see them getting Vladdy.
I would not put it past them.
Why did they go so big? Eric, you agreed with me the other night. I said to Eric, they go so big, so hard, so in on Soto, and then they just seem to be screwing around. I got an email here. Oh, and by the way, Steve,
see if I can find this.
I never want to be included in any conversation that includes threesome, Eric, and Dilly. Okay, just for the record, it's enough. I did get an email here, Eric, from who sent me this email? I'm at a loss already.
Where is it at?
Did you check the email?
No.
I'm gonna read it. You don't have to bring it up. Anthony Ranger sent me a email.
What's up, Anthony?
Got an attachment here. Sportsnet New York have posted the Blue Jays reportedly want a package that exceeds the value the Padres got for Juan Soto in any Vladimir Guerrero trade that would be worked out. Thoughts?
More than Juan Soto?
The Blue Jays reportedly want a package that exceeds the value that the Padres got back in the Juan Soto deal.
Look, if that's their start, well, then it's going to come down from there, right?
There's
no way.
They're going to want to rate any
team
of their top minor league talent.
Now, the Mets got 5 guys on the top 100. And 2 of them, I know 3 of them are going to get ready to be major league ready like this year.
The Mets are in the driver's seat. They can do whatever they want. And I don't have any doubt in my mind that they, like I said, and I will maintain this point of view. Cohen is literally playing fantasy baseball with the Mets. He just it does not matter. And I respect the heck out of it.
An open bankroll.
Yeah, open bankroll.
He's not acting like it right now. So I just question why they can throw so much
Well,
at one
what's-
player, and money is no object. And then why can't you just get a deal done with Pete Alonso? He's your guy, right? I don't know. And then senior comes in and says, hey, what about Kim? He'll get the 1 year deal. So these names keep getting recycled over and over. Dilly, it's Kim and Alonso, and now Bregman's being thrown around. And you know what? Just play the young.
I liked the concept of the 5-year, like 160-ish. I think that's what he's 165.
Overpay 165, 170.
No, I think for anyone, that's not for the Giants. That's just for anyone to sign him. I think that's what he's looking for, something like that, because that's that 30+ million a year, and he gets his longer years.
Mike O says he's going to sign somewhere else too.
Yeah, I don't think he's signing with the Mets because, like I said, if he wanted to sign with the Mets, he would have taken that $30 million a year with opt-outs, because at the worst case scenario, he opts out at the end of next year after having a good year this coming year and test the free agent market with Vladdy. When Vladdy's going to skyrocket the first base free agent market through the ceiling, then you have Pete Alonso and I believe Josh Naylor's a free agent. So you have all these other first basemen in the free agent market that are going to be theoretically increased in value with the signing of Vladdy.
Eric asked at the beginning of the show about teams that needed a first baseman. How does this sound? Yesterday, I believe, or the day before, was the anniversary of an 11-year-old's. An 11-year-old's.
What?
Introduction of a new product. It was called the Popsicle. Popsicle Pete. Remember Popsicle Pete, Eric?
Popsicle Pete?
He was 11 years old when he invented the Popsicle. Did you know? What about Pirate Pete? There's a team that needs a first baseman, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Could you see him go into a team that's not even in contention, Eric? Just takes the money. You think Boris gets him his money? He just goes, I want. Or does playing on a winning team in a big market, obviously New York, where he's been, and he's seasoned there, is that what matters?
The only way that he takes a short-term opt-out deal with another team is if it's pushing 40, if not 40 a year, in my opinion. Because otherwise, why would you have not signed with the Mets? That is your spot. That's where, like, it would be like Aaron Judge signing somewhere else just for the sake of trying to squeeze out extra dollars.
Yeah.
It would make no sense. He would have to get, like, I'm talking, if we think $32 million is too much per year, I'm talking he needs to get paid far more than that for it to even make sense, because I would have thought he would have just signed with the Mets. It would blow my mind if it got to the point, and this would ultimately reflect the most poorly on Boris, if it got to the point in the offseason where he's like, well, I have to sign somewhere, and he signs a deal like what the Mets offered him, a $30 million, give or take two, with pick a random team. Pick literally the Red Sox, the Mariners, the Blue Jays, literally any team. Because that shows a massive failure on Boris's part, because then he would have rather have played for the Mets on a deal like that, which he was already offered and rejected. So if it gets to that point, I think we might see a Pete Alonso switching agents at the end of the season.
One thing the guys are saying in the chat, Dilly, that has to do with the very topic you're on, Pete Alonso. Basically, the fact that going out and getting a veteran player like an Alonso does not automatically mean success. And I've seen somebody in the chat several times, might have been the same person, but the name came up. Look when the Giants acquired Chris Bryant. He was pretty much in his prime. It was downhill, and then he went to Colorado, where it's been that guy's
good. Brian was good with the Giants.
The 2 months he was with the Giants, he was fantastic.
Right. He was great.
Afterwards,
no, he was
all right. I mean, that there was another. They didn't get him signed, Eric.
And it was probably a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I was going to say, hindsight, that's fantastic.
In hindsight, it was probably the best deal that Farhan ever made.
Yes.
Yeah, it was definitely up there. I would agree with that.
But we only
now,
had
here's the question. So where does Alonso sign? Where do you think?
That I have no idea. I as of right now, as of this 9:52 at night,
right,
I think the Blue Jays have the best chance because they have the most need for it, and they can pay him because they're not committed technically. Like, I know you can say whatever you want to say about Vlad, them trying to get him back. I don't think that's going to happen. They've screwed the pooch on that, as I've said in the past. It's not. I don't think that's going to work out. So their best course of action is to just hang on to him for the rest of this season and sign Alonso. And so when he goes away, at least that punch in the face is not going to hurt quite as bad. That's how they're going to try and save face. Now, whether that happens or not, I could not tell you. Selfishly, I obviously hope he signs with the Giants. That would be awesome. I think it makes a lot of sense on paper, because like everything everyone has said already, it takes pressure off of Eldridge having to be ready so soon, and you allow him to kind of just hang out in AAA if he needs a little extra time. That's fine. I have no problem signing a long-term DH. That is not like, especially someone who profiles like Alonso, who stays fairly healthy and is a power bat, all this kind of stuff. I have no problem with doing that.
What do you think? What do you think of this, Eric? Don?
Yeah, I like this. What do you think? Interesting. Alonso is a recruiting piece for a future big fish free agent. I mentioned this. I mentioned this on Skaters.
Pull. If you have Alonso, Chapman, Lee, assuming he works out the way we want him to work out, which I'm sure he will. Adames, like all these guys, Eldritch, assuming he works out the way he does. Yeah. You're telling me that that's not going to pull people to this team, and at the very least, not if it doesn't even pull free agents. Take that away, it's going to pull fans to this team. I mean, like, yeah, he will. Who would not want to watch that team play on a baseball field? I would love to do that.
What, with Pete Alonso?
With Pete Alonso, Bryce Eldridge, Jung-Hoo Lee.
Wait a second. Now you've got Bryce Eldridge. How long are you signing him?
Well, it wouldn't be to a short-term deal.
I thought when Alonso comes along, Eldridge is taking over and we can wave goodbye.
No, you can't do that because he would have just signed with the Mets. If Alonso gets a 3-year deal or less, it will be for $40+ million.
What are we doing tonight? He ain't going to San Francisco, so it doesn't matter.
If he signs for a 3-year or shorter deal, it will have to be for like I said, pushing $40 million a year. Because if it's not, like I said as well, Scott Boras failed massively, and Pete Alonso will likely switch his agent. It would blow my mind, because if it's anything less than that, then he should have just re-signed with the Mets. Now, if he gets a longer term deal at a more reasonable AAV, that would be his more ideal circumstance. I think that's what he's looking for, is his long-term 5+ years at close to $30 million.
It's pretty good, Jay Shern. Pretty good. Haven't seen you here before. Welcome to the fraternity we call Giant Sports Talk Live.
Screw that signing, by the way. Screw that signing all the way up and down the street, because you want to talk about Farhan deal? That's a Farhan deal, like, if I've ever seen one. That's an AJ Pollock waiting to happen. Like, I understand he hits well against his opposing whatever pitching matchups. That's whoopee-doo. He's not Jock Peterson in that regard. And that's the only type of player I would like even kind of sort of consider, is if you had splits as significant as Peterson against your opposing pitching matchup.
Okay.
But Grichuk does not have that, and he's not going to give you, he's not like some platinum glover in the outfield, so you're not going to get that from him. That would be just such a nothing signing. It's just such a, that's a spend money to spend money type of deal. Especially with Matos.
Right. Now, I do believe that if you do sign Alonso, depending on how long you sign him for, there is an advantage in showing other free agents that the Giants at least are putting together a roster. There will be some allure to that. Granted, when a free agent obviously wants to be paid. I get it. That makes sense. But on top of that, if you have a team that's already constructed fairly decently, it will attract, like, especially if they're a guy that has the competitive fire in him and say, hey, yeah, man, let's go do this because we got a good team.
You see this profile?
Oh, there you go.
That's him this is Greg Johnson needing to pony up. That is
Pony
a
up.
pony with an arrow straight to the sky. He's got a pony.
There you go.
Way to go, Dilly.
Pony up. I like that.
What you guys have said in the past, and specifically Glenn's preached it, is having a lineup that where at least 4 or 5 guys are going to be in that lineup in the same spot every single day. Alonso is one of those guys.
Look at Graham. If the Jays want him, they have the money, and they'll go out and get him. They'll
okay,
yes. And they should.
You'll know if they trade Vlad to the Mets, then you damn well know Pete Alonso's going to.
I think they might. I think they would sign Alonso first. And then, because if they sign Alonso, they're making a push next year. Because they could just retain Vlad and then have Vlad and Alonso and Bichette and all their other dudes in the same lineup and then try and make something happen. If not, I think they have to trade Vlad if they get Alonso. There's no point in keeping him anywhere, like especially not past the deadline. Like you have to get rid of him before then, and ideally sooner the better. Right. But that makes the most sense. The Blue Jays make the absolute most sense for him to go
Dallas.
I like what Dallas closes with. You need a major league lineup,
and that's what it is.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
What it's to look like.
And think about
if you do that,
you have Alonso, you have Chapman, you have Adames, and you have Lee, and you have Bailey. That's 5 players right there every single day in that lineup.
I like to cheer for my guys.
Some days off because he's a catcher, but for the most part, 5 days or 5 players every single day in the same spot in the lineup every single day.
You know, I like to cheer for. I like to cheer for the underdog, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in on Sagano. Give me something to cheer for. I like Wilmer. I like young guys. I cheer for the underdog. I want to see them develop. I want to see, hey, look what we made. Look what we grew. Look what developed within our organization. But he was bang on, wasn't he? At the end of the day, Eric, all you can ask is to have a competitive ball club.
Yeah, right. That's the whole point. That's
whether we like him or we don't like him,
and if you
whether
think about it,
our favorite play. When you look at the team and you go into a game, 6:45 start, we got a chance to win. We got a quality lineup.
And let's think about that. Yes, champ. I remember that. Real quick, Atheist says Posey said he wants gritty players. Players play every day. That's Pete Alonso. But here's the point. If the Giants get Pete Alonso, it's not like they went crazy on free agency. They picked up a Verlander on a 1 year. That's nothing big. The big signing, of course, is Willy Adames. So it's not like the Giants went out there and just broke the bank. You're putting together a lineup. Now, do you think the Giants would ever entertain deferring? Because that's what the Giants will have to do if they want to stay underneath the CBT.
I was going to say, if you picked up Alonso for 5 years, screw it, 6 years, just to get him here, and then you put some opt-outs somewhere down the line, maybe after the 4th year, something like that. Fine.
Thanks,
defer half of that and not worry about it, because ultimately he's going to get paid eventually. So it's like and he's made a bunch of money already. So it's not like if he wants to sign a long-term deal with a team that is going to make that's going to be his team. That's going to be the team that he hangs his jersey up on the wall and says, that was my team.
Dilly,
and he wants that to be the Mets.
I know you're excited about the polar bear. A lot of guys in the chat. I think it's kind of 50-50. A lot of guys are saying no. A lot of guys are saying yes. They want to see him in a Giants.
If it's a 50-50 chance that he signs with the Giants, that's the greatest odds I've heard in my entire life for him.
That's among our fraternity. But I got to ask you then, give me this before I have to head on out of here. I got to work on the radio stuff. Eric knows that. Usually late in the show, Monday to Thursday. Leave me with this, Dilly. There's a possibility, always a possibility until he signs somewhere else, that you get Pete Alonso. Or do you think they make a trade, or is there a possibility, in your opinion, or Eric, chime in, that we're done?
Yeah, we're done.
I think we're done.
We're done. You're done. What's up, DK? Hey, much appreciated. Thank you, sir. Glad you enjoy it.
Like and subscribe. We're here 7 nights a week.
We appreciate that you come here, hang out, and just hear us have to talk about some baseball. I know it's primarily Giants related, but it's kind of hard to just stay. I mean, we kick it around all the different teams, to be honest with you, if there's anything in the news. So yeah, hey, appreciate it, man. Right on.
Yeah,
cool, man.
Don had a question. With Apple and Google both offering TV services and streaming services, how can the Giants not get a TV streaming deal with a tech
that would make
giant?
Sense. That would make sense. Again,
very good, Don.
Very good. I mean, it's the way look, I don't think those deals will be paying much at this particular time, but eventually that's the thing. You got to be careful. Don't want to get too far ahead for the simple fact that you may be missing out on some money. You may be leaving money on the table, so to speak.
I've said that right from the get-go. The first time anybody brought this topic up, Eric, remember what I told you? I said streaming. I
get it. No, it's going the way of the future.
With in a market. If you are a Bally Sports or you are a big market television affiliate and you offer a team, like look at the Dodgers deal. The Yankees have the Yes Network. They have NBC Bay Area is what it is. But when you've got that kind of money rolling in for your TV deal, that's one thing. But how is the TV deal money going to be affected in the next decade because of tech giantry?
Yeah, Eric? I get it. Right.
And but I'm just saying that you guys know the tech world, a lot of people don't have to pay to watch anymore.
Well, here's the thing.
That's the problem.
If you get in too early, because it's not going to be paying out as much. But if you get locked into a contract, and so say you lock into a 5-year contract, in those 5 years, how much money is, it's going to keep going up the more and more that it gets more, the streaming gets more prevalent. So we'll see.
Grand Admiral, I can't disagree more. MLB needs to break up the regional TV deals, Eric. If they did that, there would be a heap of help in the teams. They got no TV deal money.
Yeah. Oh, look at the Dodgers. They're getting $8 billion. Did you hear that? $1 billion for that TV contract. That's nuts.
I can't see Major League Baseball breaking up regional.
And that's one of the reasons why the Dodgers are able to do what they're doing. It's because of that money coming in. No doubt about it.
Now, don't forget, I'm not privy to what the totals are, Eric, but there's the market share.
Mm-hmm.
So just because the Pittsburgh Pirates may have a tiny Bally Sports deal doesn't mean they don't get some of that Dodger money. So there is money being spread around. Yeah, I'm not sold on. A couple of guys were in on Dan's show back maybe a year ago, and they were talking about, well, this money in 10 years, there's always money in the TV deals. TV as we know it is going to become a dinosaur, Eric.
Eventually, it's not quite there yet, of course, but it's
on the way. I don't know about you. In my personal life,
I was just going to say,
people are buying cable television anymore.
Well, unfortunately, for your line of business, radio's kind of in that same boat, right?
Unless you can sell like me, dude. I'm making money, so knock on wood.
Well, yeah, I can tell you for a fact that we haven't had cable. I was a late bloomer when it came to the internet thing, just based on where I live. So we had cable all the way up until I was like 15 years old. And then we got internet. And as soon as we got internet, we've just been streaming through that.
That's all we do. I will say we don't have cable.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah.
However,
dude, I watch the YouTube when I watch television.
Yeah.
Exactly. Absolutely. Amen to that. And that's not like a recent development. That's like my entire life. I prefer YouTube more often than not than like shows and stuff like that. But the like NBC Sports Bay Area, we watch that through Hulu. And so if you get a deal with like something like that or whatever, because I don't know how it would work. I can tell you for a fact that every single Peacock game / Apple TV game is miserable to watch. Like, I do not enjoy those. I much prefer to watch it on Sports NBC Bay Area. Because the broadcasters suck on the other platforms. The whole layout feels just weird, foreign.
Well, here's another thing. Dilly, have you ever heard me say to Eric on the show, when I go to watch, what's the worst for this? And I'll tell you, I used to watch a lot of NASCAR racing. And then what they did was they started to branch out. And a 200-lap race, it'd be lap 150 before I can find what channel the race was on that particular weekend. They'd say, oh, it's on Peacock.
Yep.
Well, what Peacock?
Yeah,
I'm on Peacock.
It used to be on Fox.
SUV,
right?
Law and
That was
Order's on. I can't find anything is the problem. At least when it's on a network, I know that, like Bay Area, I know I can find the Giants every night. Opening pitch is on television.
Right.
I'm having problems when it comes to streaming, finding my content.
Yeah.
You ever have that problem, Eric? You tune in, I don't know where to find this game.
Yeah, it depends on what game, but for the Giants, for the most part, it's always on. Like you said, it's always on NBC Sports.
The freaking Apple TV game. You know what I got to do? I got to go try to find it on like Rogers Sportsnet in Canada, annoying. Or one of my sports affiliates I watch. I got to find it elsewhere. I don't know where to find it. Do I have to have like
where it gets weird?
Sign up for Apple TV? I don't know.
I'll tell you where it gets weird. It gets weird during the playoffs. First, it's on ESPN, then it's on TBS, then it's on Fox One, then it's just on Fox, and it's just like
doing the flipper. I'm running out of batteries in my flipper, turning around.
I hate it for
Eric.
The simple fact that I guess it feels weird because it's not like it just looks different from what I'm so used to on NBC, but it's a bunch of people who are given a stat sheet or some like talking points who have no idea anything about the Giants for the most part. And they're trying to talk about the Giants. So you get like just super blanket level nonsense. Oh yeah, Ramos doing this or whatever.
Dilly, that's the same can be said with any team in baseball on any of those platforms. So if you tune into a game and you're watching it on the Apple TV broadcast every Friday night, it becomes what we would call, and Eric and I, our era, Eric, that's a national, that was like, do you remember, did you grow up, Eric, when you were watching ball with your dad, like me? Mm-hmm. Monday Night Baseball was huge.
Sunday Night Baseball?
Monday Night Baseball, and then it went to Sunday night with Johnny Miller and Joe Morgan.
Yeah.
You know, you can say that John Miller is a Giants broadcaster, but that's a national broadcast. There's no
the national broadcast used to be either on ABC, NBC, or CBS.
ABC Monday Night Baseball. Those were the days. You know, Eric, that's when you're getting old and you go, those were the days, Eric.
Yeah, those are the days, man. Life is a little bit more simpler. A little bit simpler. Granted, well, you know, there's pros and cons, right?
Or if you like me, I like turning on, just going out for a drive or going out for a walk with my headset on, Eric. I listen to KMBR.
No, it's hard to listen now. KMBR is hard to listen to now.
Well, I listen to the broadcast, and then where does everybody listen? Look at tonight, Eric? 325 people in here in the chat. Where do people go for the post game content? YouTube. Giant Sports Talk Live.
They go to YouTube, man. That's what they do.
They listen to the game, and they flip. They come on over.
And when the game's over, you're going to YouTube. You're going either to Hum Baby or NorCal or Giant Sports Talk Live, or the skaters will probably go doing the post game.
And you don't guess what bullshit.
Yeah. And the thing is, what's great about YouTube, you know, you may not catch the live, but then you could go back later. Hey, I wonder what these guys had to say about the game. Oh, I wonder what these guys. It's freaking awesome, dude. It's freaking awesome.
The Baja Racing. There you go. Yeah, it's true, Eric. And here we don't pull any punches. If they suck, we'll tell you.
Yeah. You don't hear that on KM. Well, the only time you'll hear it on KMBR is from the callers.
Yeah, if they even do it. Have you tuned in?
No. On the radio. On
radio, it's 49%. Not 80% 49ers talk.
Yeah.
15% Warriors. And the Giants is, well, we got guys in the truck. We got to fill like an hour. Let's do some Giants. That's it. Giants are, and Eric, this is the thing, and I'm in the radio business, guys, so I do not understand this. Eric, if you are an affiliate of the team, you own the broadcast rights, there's where your bread and butter is. Why are they not covering the San Francisco Giants with call-in shows, talk shows? I've never seen a market like that. If the Yes Network radio team is doing sports talk, it's about the Yankees. Why? Because they are the affiliate. Why the San Francisco Giants affiliate spends their entire day talking about Niner football, I have no idea. Only in San Francisco, Eric. Oh.
And you know what they used to do? And I haven't even heard it. Maybe I'm missing it on KMBR. Maybe because I'm on here during the night. Is KMBR even doing a hot stove? Are they even chat?
Oh, I haven't heard that in a long time.
Hey, chat, is KMBR doing a hot stove show? They used to do it during this time where they would have like a 30 minute or 1 hour hot stove show.
And not to toot
once a week?
Once a week.
Once a week?
But not to toot our own horn either, Eric. When they come on after a Warrior game at 10 o'clock at night or 8:30, 9:30, whenever the Warrior game ends, when they go on, they will simulcast on YouTube. And we got 6 times as many viewers.
That's unbelievable.
As
a hot stove show once a week.
So hats off to you, Eric. We're doing a decent job, man. Decent job. Guys like Dilly coming on, Marcus.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
Charlotte.
I'm starting to run on E here, man. Let's get the heck out of here. Dilly, thanks for coming on, man.
I'm already late. Sure. So thanks, Dilly. Thanks, buddy.
No worries. Peace out.
Look at that.
See you, man.
Look at that avatar. The polar bear with an SF and the thumbs up. I like that one.
I still like the pony up. The pony up was good, man.
That was good
pony
too.
Up was good. All right, let's get the hell out of here, man. I'm tired.
I think 95.7 talks more Giants than the Giants affiliate KMBR.
That's not good.
680.
It's not good. It's not a
and
good
they're
look.
on both AM and FM. I don't know, man. They're going cheap. They got young guys working there. It's a mess.
It is.
Sports radio in the Bay Area, as we know it, Eric, is a mess. I'll see you tomorrow night, Eric. Free for all Friday.
Yeah, we'll see. It may be that. It may be, hey, you guys direct the show. Who knows? Unless there's some news going on out there. But
it'll either be Free for All Friday or Wrecking Ball Roki. I don't know which one.
Something like that, right? All right, Glenn. We'll see you tomorrow night, buddy.
Always a pleasure. Good job. You hit 3 out of the park today, Eric.
3 out of the park. 3. What in the heck am I doing?
Peace
All
out.
right, guys. Be good out there. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.